Welcome, Agile friends. My name is Fred Deichler, and I'm hosting this session with our amazing speaker, Dave Westgarth. In this session, we're going to learn about AI-powered Agile. Welcome, Dave.
Hi, Fred. Thanks very much. Good to be here with you. And it's nice for anyone who's connected with us on LinkedIn. They might have seen we did a bit of a role reversal on this. I interviewed you for a podcast recently, so it's good to have the shoe on the other foot this time, I guess.
Absolutely. I get the questions now. So in this session, we're going to learn about AI and Agile in the future. But, at the Agile Online Summit, we also have other sessions. So be sure you don't miss those. For example, Holly Skya has a session on AI and common sense. Sorry, Agile and common sense. Be sure you check out the other sessions at agileonlinesummit.com. But for now, it's time to focus on our guest speaker and our topic for this session. So, Dave, as AI becomes increasingly integrated into our agile workflows, do you think it could eventually replace some of the roles that we play, or will it simply enhance what we do?
That is the $1 million question, and it's hard to resist getting on board that hype train, I'll agree. I think the answer is fairly clear for anyone who's looked at this in any detail, especially if you understand how LLMs work. But with regards to working in Agile and Scrum, I've always said it sort of depends what kind of Scrum Master or Agile person you are. If you're a Scrum Master who comes in, sets events, puts meetings together, does a few retro boards and tracks metrics in Jira, the bad news is AI is very capable of doing that now. So if that's what you're doing, your days are numbered at this point. It's just a matter of time before that gets to a level where that you're automated out of that process. However, if you're a Scrum Master that's fostering an environment of continuous improvement, trying to propagate Scrum and Agile values and principles, and you're looking at those organizational level and systemic issues where you can really apply your systems thinking hat, and you're looking beyond the immediate team and sort of the robotic or mechanical elements of Scrum, you are beyond safe. The key thing with LLMs and AI at the moment is a lot of it's sort of predictive analysis and a lot of it's statistical sort of likelihoods of what the next words are going to be. In its current guise, I don't think anyone is in any real danger of losing their job. It's very much an enhancer or an amplifier for individual contributors or team members to do more, but it still does need that sort of supervisory layer that a person will provide. And B, I think, and I'm gonna step slightly outside of my bounds here. I think we are getting to the top and out point of what the art of the possible is with LLMs now, just because all the data that's available is largely consumed at this point, and the experimentation that's been done on LLMs consuming their own output, it becomes a downward spiral. So I do think we're getting to the point of topping out, and if there's a lot of hype now with ChatGPT 5 that may come next. I don't see it being that huge step change that it was from 3 to 4. I think it'll be a step forward. But like in anything, when we're trying to get to 100%, it's those last 5% that are always the toughest. And I just don't think that's going to be a nice, easy step forward for us to make.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Dave. The fear of these models feeding on their own output. You just like what's the saying? Like you get bad data from bad inputs, or
Garbage in,
makes
garbage out was what I was taught.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you did mention that the acronym LLMs. If I ask you for a moment to maybe enlighten some of our agile friends out there who aren't don't even know what LLM stands for.
Okay. So LLM is a large language model, which is how can I best approach this? I'm trying to make this as non-technical as I can. So it's statistically it's essentially a statistical number crunching machine. What it'll do is it'll take an input prompt from you, and that can be a question or sort of anything at all, any sort of text or visual input, and you can ask it to do things with that, and it'll give you a response. The way it does that is it calculates the most likely response based on its training data. So if from what it's been trained on, it'll think, what have I seen before that fits the bill for what I'm been asked to do here? And it'll create something in the neighborhood of what it's seen before with some slight changes or tweaks here and there.
So that's probably why when if you ask ChatGPT the same question twice, you might get slightly different outcomes because it's assuming what you might be looking for is the way it's doing it.
Yeah, the way, and again, I don't want to get too technical,
We
But
don't need to.
if you can imagine your words that you're sending at the chat GPT are being converted into numbers, and those numbers exist within a cube or a sphere, and they're in a specific place in that cube or sphere.